I just read a book called Exactly What to Say for Salespeople, particularly for real estate salespeople. And it's by Phil Jones, I believe. And I read that book, so you don't have to. I'll give you a synopsis in just a few minutes of what I gathered from the book, and maybe it'll help you in your real estate sales in particular. So he has different sayings that you can use in your business. And I'll give you one outside of the book that I just watched on YouTube. And I apologize for the person's name. But his intro when he's calling people, cold calling, is I know you're going to hate me. I'm a realtor. But could you just spare 5 minutes for me to explain how the new program I have can help you? I know you're going to hate me. That's crazy. But it's subconscious words that work. And they're saying, no, I'm probably not going to hate you. And another saying that he had in this book is, I'm not sure this is for you. I'm not sure this is for you. That kind of throws them off guard a little bit. Let me tell you about this. I'm not sure if this is a good fit for you or not, but could you give me 5 minutes to explain what we can do for you? Now, another saying is, I'm sure you are open-minded. Are you open-minded enough about giving this a chance? Are you open-minded? Who doesn't want to be open-minded? I'm a closed-minded person. I'm not open to any new ideas. How open-minded are you? Are you open-minded enough to let me tell you about this? And so sometimes they have an objection, or you want to bring up a new point. You can say, what do you know about? What do you know about this, the new law that's in place for real estate agents and realtors? What do you know about that? And that gives you into a conversation right there. So people will work harder to avoid loss than they will to achieve a potential gain. But here's another saying in the book. How would you feel if? How would you feel if you could have this home sold in 60 days and be on to your next location? How would you feel if we closed that in 60 days? Well, Landon, I'd feel pretty good. Well, I think we can do that. How would you feel if at this time next year, you had this home sold and you were debt free and you were sitting there planning your next vacation? How would you feel? Another one is, just imagine how things will be when you settle this in escrow. Imagine how you'll feel when you have your money, you're ready to go. And the quicker we get started, the quicker that feeling can become real. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I thought it did. How about you? So let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. Now, you've probably used this before, but this was in the book. When would be a good time? When would be not, can I come at 10? Can I come at 4? When would be a good time for me to look at your home and give you an expert market analysis? When would be a good time to speak next? If you don't get the listing there, but don't leave. Don't leave if you're on a listing appointment until you get it or they tell you to leave. That's my experience. You don't know when they're going to say yes. You do not know, but you got to keep asking in a nice way. Do not leave if at all possible. Make them. Well, we've got the lights are going out now, so you need to go. Okay, that's the only way. Do not leave. That's just my personal opinion. Now, here's another one. I'm guessing you haven't gotten around to speaking to your wife or whoever, if they were supposed to do that. Now, what does that do? That takes them off having to say, I haven't talked to my wife. It eliminates that objection. I'm guessing you haven't talked to your wife. So that way you get to the positive there. Well, I know you want to, and you haven't gotten around to making a decision, but maybe it's because you didn't have all the information. So I know you haven't gotten around to, probably, I'm guessing that you haven't talked to her. But we don't have to do that. You can convey all this yourself. Now, many people say, do you have any questions at the end? Do not say that. Do you have any questions for me? So, do you have any questions is a question. What questions do you have for me is better. And the normal response is, I don't have any. Then we can go ahead, correct? What questions? Not do you have any questions? Do you? That's a question if they got any questions. What questions? What question? What specific questions do you have for me? Don't ask, do you have any questions? What questions do you have for me? What is the best number to contact you? What is the best number to contact you at or contact you? Ask that question. Help them make a choice. As I see it, you have three options. One, you can go ahead with me while I'm here. Two, you can go through this process with several realtors and take a lot more time. Or three, do nothing. Which do you think would be easier for you? The way I see it, you got three options. You can go ahead with me, go through the process, all this time and effort to talk to other realtors, and hopefully you feel comfortable with me, or do nothing. Which of these three would be easier for you? Well, you know the answer to that. They do too. Here it is right there. Let's go. A professional salesperson, what is it? In this book, it says a professional salesperson is a professional mind maker-upper. You help people make up their minds right there. Now, you can remove the choice too. I feel there are two types of people. This is in the book. Those that favor nostalgia and look backwards, or those who move with the times and create a better future. I imagine you're in that second group, correct? Now, here's another one. I bet you are a lot like me. And then you have a compliment. I bet you're a lot like me. You enjoyed working hard now, knowing it will pay dividends in the future. I bet you're a lot like me in this good way. In this good way. I bet you're a lot like me. You're a busy person who's always struggling to get everything done. Is that true? Let me help you with this. There's a lot of work here. I know you may want to do it yourself, but if you're a lot like me, I have trouble keeping everything together. I'm a busy person. I'm sure you are too. Let me help you with this. This is what I do. This is what I do. Then there's people that if you don't do this, then, if then. As a child, you heard this saying, if you don't eat all your dinner, you don't get dessert. If you don't study now, you won't get into a good school or you won't get a good job. If you give me a try, I promise you won't be disappointed. If you give me a try, I promise you won't be disappointed. If then, if you give me a try. And if they are high stress people, here's a good 2-word sentence. Don't worry. I know you don't know what to do right now, but that's what I'm here for. Don't worry. If you're going to make all these choices work, don't worry. Now, here's the biggest two words to help people make up their mind, according to Phil. I think it's Phil Jones. Did we say that? Yeah. Most people. For most people, indecision is the biggest obstacle. Tell them what most people do. After I've gone over all these things with the prospects, most people go with me. I'm not bragging. That's just a fact. After we've talked and covered everything, most people go with me. Can we go ahead? Most people do this. And if it's not true, make it true. You get better. These questions. The good news is, this is if you come to behind another realtor. The good news, you've already tried the other way and it didn't work. So what's the harm in trying this? The good news is we have a track record with people like you. And most people, we were able to sell their home quickly. The good news is you've already went through the bad. We got that out of the way. The rookie, or if you're a rookie, the old codger like me. The good news is you've already done that, so you don't have to go through that again. The good news is, what happens next? Here's what happens next. Here's what happens next. What happens next is we're going to go over the paperwork and we're going to have the setup of your showings, and then we're going to get this thing on the market. This is what happens next. And then you hand them pen, paper. This is what happens next. We're going to take it step by step. Now, what if they have an objection? Well, here's a response to almost any objection. Well, what makes you say that? I'm really not sure. What makes you say that? Why do you say that? I don't have the money right now if they want to buy something. Well, what makes you say that? What makes you say that? And here's another one. Before you make up your mind, this is when they're trying to get rid of it. Before you make up your mind, let's review what we've talked about. 1, we're going to do this. 2, we're going to do that. 3, and then ask again. Ask to get to yes. There's another book, I believe, Getting to Yes. And you keep going. Now, I don't like this commission. Now, that is a good question. Never shy away from that question. I think this commission is too high. Say you're asking 6%. If I can lower this, will you list right now? So you get they made the objection. I don't like this 6%. If I can, will you do it? And you make a compromise. Let's compromise. If I can sell it in 30 days for 6%, would you be okay with that? And we'll drop it to 5 if we haven't sold it in 30 days. I'm pretty confident we can do that. So if I can, will you do this? That way you get your listing. And then you do your very best to earn that extra 1%. Does that make sense? That's a good one. If I can, will you? I don't like this. Well, if I could do this, and you get a commitment right there. And then he had the Columbo close. Just one more thing. One more thing. How about trying it for 30 days with me? And then you can do And if you're not satisfied, you can interview all the other agents, and even during that time. How about just giving me? We can do this now, and imagine if we had this sold in the 30 days, and you wouldn't have all the hassle. Just imagine. How would you feel if I sold it in 30 days? You'd feel pretty good, right? All right, here's another one. Could you do me a small favor? Give me a recommendation. If you've done a good job, could you do me a small favor? Could you give me a recommendation? Here's another one. Just out of curiosity, what is it specifically that you need time to think about? Let me think about it. And you can ask him, just out of curiosity, and that softens it a little bit. What is it specifically that you need time to think about? Maybe we can help you with that. Just out of curiosity, what needs to happen for you to make a decision right now? Just out of curiosity, what needs to happen right now? Just out of curiosity, what is stopping you from moving forward right now? Just out of curiosity, what's stopping you from moving forward? So, see, these are a few of the exact words that you can use. And I've used some of these before, but I'm going to try some of these now in my business, real estate business, and you can too. So I hope you gained some information. Again, you might want to get the book because certainly he had a lot more time to think about it, to write it than I do. And so you may want to get it. Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones. So you got to give him credit. And this is just a review. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, give me a like. Would it be too much trouble? And don't worry, you're not going to get in trouble for this. What makes me say that? Before you make your mind up now, go ahead and like this video. The good news, you've already watched it, and we're just reviewing here. So thank you for watching this video. And if you did like it, let people know. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.